Hello, welcome back. It's Sense of Directions. I'm Dylan,
I'm Kevin.
and today we're gonna be talking about what debt is. Do you know what that is? I feel like most people kind of have heard that word before, but they don't really actually know how it works.
Correct.
Me included. That's why this was a big learning episode. I think we're just gonna give you the highlights, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just off the top. But before that, TGIF.
Yeah, Friday.
It's a Friday. Usually we're recording on Saturday, so
It feels
kind of
different.
weird.
I know. What am I gonna do tomorrow?
Work. Any highlights?
I'm
weekly
gonna go
highlights?
to this week. Honestly, it went by so fast. Tonight, after this, I'm going to a networking event, so that's kind of like my first one. Really, like I went to a small coffee
Get
group,
together?
but this is like business professionals in the Oklahoma City area, and I'm like, okay.
Are you gonna wear a name tag?
I think so. I've been doing research on like how to put on a networking event because I'm trying to propose that Turtlesmith does that. So we bring fish in versus fishing. And that's one of the big things. Is like make sure you have name tags and blah blah blah. And think of icebreakers to do. Some of them were like play musical chairs of like get to know you stories. And I'm like, did they actually do that? Like I feel like I haven't played musical chairs in a long time.
Always got violent too.
What about you? How's your week?
Been good.
Yeah.
You wanna know what the highlight of my week has been down?
What?
I was in Midwest City and I paid $2 a gallon for gas.
Wow.
I couldn't believe it. I had to do a double take. I was like, there's no way. And I pulled in.
Like $2.
$2.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. I went to a gas station and then I realized down the street I would have saved like 75 cents. And I said, oh my God. That's what it's like when you're older. I remember when I first got my car and gas was like
150.
about 2 to under 1. Like 2 was high.
Yeah.
And now 2 is like, oh my gosh, jackpot.
America.
Yeah.
But anyways.
Yeah.
Let's dive into this, boys and girls. You might be asking yourself, what is debt? We hear the word all the time. In simple terms, it's basically you've borrowed money from, it could be somebody or an institution. Like let's say Dylan wants to borrow $20. Usually I'll just give you $20 and then like no interest. But if I'm in hard times, I'll be like, yeah, I'll give you $20, but like, can you give me 30 back? And then you'll be like, I can't really say no because I need $20. And I'd be like, yeah. So that's kind of how debt works. Dylan owes me $20 and the interest is, what would that be? I'm really bad at percentages. Is that?
Oh, to get to the $30? Yeah, I can't do that math for you.
It's a certain percentage of interest, and that's how that works.
Yeah.
But that's basically what debt is in a nutshell.
Yeah.
I would say. Right?
Good summary. Summary.
Good explanation.
Good. Yes. And that interest, I feel like, is most of the time when you're borrowing money, there's probably going to be some sort of interest on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's usually going to be like a time frame that you have to pay the money back. And I think with certain debt, you might be able to renegotiate, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know about house mortgages just because.
I think there's certain things that like you get into like refinancing or things like that.
Yeah. Because I mean, if I'm in debt and I can't pay it off, like obviously the IRS is going to come after me. But what if I'm like, hey, I could pay it off, but just probably not in this. Like, can I get like a extension? I'm sure maybe something get worked out.
Extension.
Your interest rate's probably going to go.
I don't know if the IRS would come after you though.
I think debt collectors come after you first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And those guys.
Sharks. They're called sharks.
I just remember like on TV and movies, it would be like people would like be hiding in their phone or like hiding in their house, or they would like block their phone numbers or something. Okay, yeah, my favorite movie that has to do about debt is Confessions of a Shopaholic.
Never seen it.
She racks up credit card debt. Credit card debt, she is a high fashion. She loves buying fashion, like shoes, bags, whatever it is.
I think that's called an addiction.
Yes,
Anyway.
and she does have to go to
Oh, she does?
Shopaholics Anonymous. Yes.
Perfect.
And there's like a pivotal scene in there where she only has a certain amount of money, and like because she's in the Shopaholics Anonymous, like her thing is you can only buy one thing this week, and it's either her best friend's bridesmaid dress or a really pretty scarf that was like a designer that's like super off sale. And because she thinks that she could do both, she buys both, and then she's like, I'll just return the scarf later.
She loses it?
No, her like sponsor basically is like, you have to choose, and you're returning one, and she chooses the scarf because she thinks she could go back and buy the bridesmaid dress, and then I think she gets, it's like, and that's like the low point of her, like, okay, I really do have a problem type deal.
That's what we're trying to avoid, kiddos.
Yeah. But I think they really do kind of sometimes, like, it feels like it builds on very quickly, you know?
The debt?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're not paying attention.
Especially with credit cards. Credit cards is kind of a little special area. But there's a few types of debt. There's secured debt, which means that there's some sort of collateral tied to if you don't pay back your amount. A good example is like for cars, like if you get an auto loan, if you don't make your payments, they're gonna take your car. And I think mortgages also do the same thing. Like if you don't pay, then the bank takes your house. Unsecured debt, it does not require any collateral. However, there's a few things that contribute to if you get approved on your loan, which could be your credit score, credit history, and then a few other things. But I feel like credit score and credit history is probably the biggest thing because that shows people like if you are able to make payments, which I believe we did a credit score.
I think if I remember correctly, in that credit episode we did, we talked about how they kind of investigate you whenever you apply for something. So I'm pretty sure whoever's lending you money, I might be wrong though, but it would make sense if they could see all, I think they do, they can see all the debt that you already have acquired and be like, maybe this guy ain't a really good fit because he hasn't really paid any of his stuff off. Yeah.
Now it's a little bit different because obviously I feel like specifically in America, we kind of have like credit and debt kind of work together in the economy, you know? Yeah. Like banks like to loan and get paid back money, and it's kind of like, it's like a circle, right?
Yeah. It's a little loop.
Yeah. I will say that credit cards though, they have a open-end credit. So most other debt, there's some sort of timeline, like, you know, and like for a mortgage, you have, I think it's like 30 is like the average mortgage timeline. But then they have like 50, and I feel like 70 sounds like crazy, but maybe they have 70-year mortgages.
That doesn't make any sense.
You're really, they want you your whole lifetime.
You're passing that down to your children.
Yeah, which I probably should have looked that up before this, but I'm pretty sure aren't debts
100-year? No, I'm joking.
Aren't debts passed down sometimes?
I think.
I guess it depends on what it is, but I've heard that before where like...
Which is kind of messed up.
Yeah, like people who have been married or something, or like getting married and they didn't realize their partner had a lot of debt, and then it like they died or something, and then it's all on them.
Yeah. Don't do that, kids.
Don't get married.
Don't get married.
But I would say that debt is pretty important to the economy, and that goes kind of back to like the circle.
It's pretty hard to live in America and not acquire some form of debt, I would say.
Yeah.
I mean, the severity of it is kind of up to your, what's a good word for it? Temperament and your discipline and your awareness of what you're getting yourself into.
Yeah.
But I mean, we can talk about what's good debt and what's bad debt. When I think about good debt, it's usually you're going to get a return on it. Like, you're not just like the shopaholics example. Like, you're not just blowing money to blow money. Like, there's an end goal to it. Like, I have a car loan that I'm paying off. At the end of that car loan, I'm going to own my car. You have a house payment that you're working on. At the end of that, you're going to own the house. Or, yeah, you're going to pay the house off, but you're still going to have to pay other shit on it. But whatever. Student loans, we get student loans in the hopes of acquiring a degree that's going to elevate us.
Our little turtle tip, though, or maybe a little asterisk next to student loans, is we always say you should have a specific plan if you're going to college, because taking on student debt or student loan for a degree that you're like,
not gonna use.
Like I think I should do this or something, is not worth it. We always recommend getting like real life experience first, take time to kind of figure out what you want to do and kind of build up skills first. Because the notion that you should graduate high school and then immediately go into college just because that's what you should do is honestly kind of insane and a waste of money, especially if you don't have some sort of, like, I want to go to school to be a cardiologist. Okay, that makes sense. There's only one way that you can become a cardiologist.
Yeah. And you're I graduated when I was 17 just because of how early I started school, but like, I didn't know what I was going to do at 17, let alone like drop cash on a degree that I'm still unsure about,
Yeah.
Trade school is a good option though.
Yeah.
I'll back trade school up.
It's also just insane that they're like, oh, okay, you're 18, you're freshly 18. Yeah, come on, let's take out like $100,000 that you have to pay back in your lifetime. Do that kid. Now.
Which brings up another good point with good debt is you want to be able to afford it in a sense. Like, I'm not going to go out there and get like a business loan that don't think I'm going to pay off, because then I'm just going to dig myself a pretty big hole, It's got to be within your budget, I would say.
Yeah. And that, I feel like, wraps up good debt, and the rest is kind of bad, sneaky debt, I would say. You had mentioned when we were talking about bad debt, it's too much dip on your chip. Okay. Yeah. There's the biggest thing is super high interest rates. Okay. I feel like everyone's kind of heard about interest rates, especially like when we talk about loans, especially, but also like with credit cards. I feel like, not to skip ahead, but like credit cards with high interest rates over time are like super sneaky scary, because there'll be credit cards that are advertised as like 0% interest in the first year, but then they don't tell you, or if they tell you in the super fine print, 18 pages back of the 50-page document, that it's going to shoot up to 17%. So now when you spend $100 for the month of October, now you're paying, I don't know how to do math, but now you're paying like, what, $200 for the amount that you spent in October?
Yeah.
In addition to that is maybe having an overwhelming timeline. So like maybe it's really short and that you have to pay it back, but each payment is like really large chunks. And also like predatory lending. Predatory lending is more of like unfair and abusive loan terms. So there are lots of sharks in the water that want to exploit people that do not know how finance knowledge works. Yeah. So you might be like, oh, okay, like 5% off every purchase. 5% sounds really small, but it's every single purchase that builds up, like, again, don't do math. So
gotta stop throwing these numbers around.
I know. I knew I should have had an actual example in there, but just make sure that you understand your timeline, understand what that interest rate is. You should do the math for yourself before you start signing any contracts, because will you be able to make budget or make payments with your budget?
Yeah. that's like after necessities are covered and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like rent, or I feel like rent's probably like the main thing, right?
Yeah, like rent, food,
Yeah.
your bills, like, it would be very tough if you're like, okay, well, I have, like $1,000 for rent, a couple $100 for food and other living expenses, and then now I have the
Like
rest of
4
my
payments.
paycheck
Yeah.
is just to pay off my student loans or just to pay off my credit card bill. I will say that we do have a really good episode about credit cards that kind of dives into maybe easier credit cards to start out with. And then it kind of lays out like once you start understanding your payments and your finances, like how to kind of move with credit cards. Because there are some that are good. Just like there are some cases of good debt. And again, I think that just kind of helps with moving money throughout the economy, right? You borrow money, you pay it back, and then someone else gets to borrow that money and pay it back. It's like,
There you go. It's a big
fluctuating.
recycling bin.
Yeah. But don't fret if you do struggle with having some bad debt that's maybe a little seemingly over your head, because there are some ways to get out of debt.
Can I tell you? I think I already spoke about it, but I had this card. This is an example of bad debt. I had this card that when I was like, I don't know, like 20, I had this Kia, and like I fucked up all my tires, so I didn't buy a new set of, I could have. I had the money to buy a new set of tires, but I didn't want to. And so I just got this card, and they put like the new tires on this like card that the tire place offered. Long story short, like I don't have that car anymore, and I was paying for the tires on a car I no longer owned, like up until like a couple months ago, because I was stupid. Like that's an example of bad debt. Like I'm over here paying for tires that I'm not even riding on anymore.
Yeah.
So don't be like me, kiddos.
Did they kind of like serve it up to you on a shiny platter?
Well, of course, you're like, you don't have to pay for it today. I'm like, say less.
Yeah, that's the like
Is that
the hidden fees.
Yeah. I mean, it's all like convenience. Like if you have the money, and it goes back to budgeting. Like I had the money. I don't know why I didn't do it. Like, I don't know.
That's okay. Now you know.
Now you know.
Do you have any other store credit cards, or is that kind of like the first and last?
Oh, I do have a credit card right now that I'm paying off. And I was using it for like gas and food whenever I didn't feel like using my own money. It's only $1,000, so I can tackle that pretty easily. It's within my budget. And then I have a car loan that I should be done with paying it off next year.
Nice.
But after that, I'm not opening up any other lines of credit until maybe like I pay that car loan off. I might get a bigger credit card, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, what about you? Oh, well, you have your house payment. That's about it.
Yeah, I am still waiting to pull the trigger on a credit card. I know that I want to do some that kind of like.
I want to do one of those travel cards.
Yeah.
Yeah, I might do that. That might be what I do after my car payment. Get them miles, man.
Yeah. So you make sure that it works within your budget. I will say my boss, the accountant, who I trust a lot with all of these things, said that if you make one extra payment a year, it significantly decreases the amount of time to pay off, like the timeline. It speeds it up. So if you have like a 30-year mortgage and then you continually do an extra payment a year, it speeds up your timeline by 7 years, he said. And I really hope I remembered those numbers right, but that does feel right.
Yeah, that also makes sense, you know.
So
the more money you add to your debt, the faster you pay it off. It's crazy how that works.
I know, yeah. Yes.
But since I guess, well, how are you tackling, if you want to get into it, how are you doing your whole like mortgage thing? Like, do you have a plan for it? You don't have to get like super specific, but
I do have a plan for it.
And it's none of your damn business.
It's just Technically, I'm not really paying a mortgage right now.
Oh, okay.
I'm paying
It's all
my
gonna get
parents
redacted.
to it
Okay.
because they technically own my house. So I'm
Keeping
trying
it
to
in the
figure out
fam.
a way to speed up buying it back from them. The reason that we did that is because the loan that I was approved of was not going to allow me to have like a budget to do like fixing up. It became like something
Okay.
else because there's so many like quick flip people that take money out. So it started to get real messy. So basically, like my parents did that, and then I have been paying them like rent, and then that me doing that allowed us to kind of do projects. I got new floors. I moved a doorway because it was a very stupid door. And then I had to buy like a whole AC unit because the house did not have AC or heat.
Damn.
And so that kind of allowed me to do those big things without actually spending like, I don't know, like $20,000.
Yeah.
So I feel like that sounds about this right.
Man, you really aren't good at numbers, are you?
No, I'm not, okay? But I have a spreadsheet and I look at the spreadsheet and every day I wish that I could have more money to like quickly get it out because I don't like having my parents have a string attached to me.
That's how I feel about my car payment. I look at it. I mean, the amount's gone down, which is good. But I feel like as far as a plan to get out of debt, ideally you want to get rid of it as fast as you can, depending on how much you have and different categories.
Yeah.
You know, some people have all three, like car payments, student loans, and like a mortgage. Like that's a big cookie.
That is.
You know, so you want to start with like probably the smallest, get that out the way, and just kind of nib at it as you go.
Like tackle the smallest, but make the minimum payments on everything else,
Yeah.
right? So that you can kind of be on top of everything. And then once you knock out your first one, then you can start increasing the payments to like the next one and the next one. But if you're really kind of struggling, obviously, you know, live on a much stricter budget. Like my boss says, rice and beans, water, ramen noodles. Maybe that also
some good old
means
ice soup.
Ice soup.
Yeah.
Or even just like maybe getting a second source of income.
Yeah.
You know, just to kind of help not feel so constricted.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes depending on your situation, I feel like our demographic, some might be married. Like maybe you have a very understanding and loving partner and they could help you out or something like that. Or not help you out, but help you as you work 2 to 3 jobs. Something like that.
And then just know that it's not forever. It's just for the time being. I will say, kind of like to wrap up everything, is that debt allows both individuals and governments to invest in opportunities that can lead to economic growth. Everything comes back to the economy. Had no idea that all of this, you know, I feel like I was kind of trying to remember my economics class and I was like, I don't remember anything from that. But this, like how debt works and like interest and things, all kind of ties back to like stimulating our economy and stimulating like job growth and stuff. Whatever. When you're talking about when governments borrow money, but governmental like debt is a completely other thing. And so we're talking about personal debt, and it's not as scary. Yeah, I mean, I feel like
once you have it under control, it shouldn't be as scary. Like once you, because I've been the person where I don't even want to look at my bank account, you know. But I mean, if you don't, you won't see what's
happening.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
you need to have a plan. It's a big monster, then it'll become really small, and then
you'll be done with it.
Yeah.
And then on to the next one, I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe you buy a new car after that. I mean, eventually you'll have to buy it.
Yeah, but I feel like if I do, I'm buying it cash. I'm getting like a 80 Camaro. Not Camaro, Camry.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, very different cars.
Yeah.
80s?
90s, maybe 90s. I don't know. They're really good cars. Like the Camrys from the 90s, like they're.
Well, I'm just thinking
you put like a million miles on
I
those
was
things.
thinking like you'll probably get a new car in the next like 10-ish years or something. So then like you're really buying like.
I'm going back in time.
Did they run well? I don't know.
Toyotas?
Yeah.
Camrys? Yeah. From the 90s especially.
But then that goes back into like making sure that you have a good investment. Right?
Are you saying like
that would be a good investment because you say that it runs well.
Yeah.
Not just buying like a brand new.
Oh, you talk shit on Toyotas, dude?
No.
I'm joking.
Isn't it the? Oh no, that's a Toyota. What was the car that's like the #1 car to get broken into? Because it's like super easy.
I don't know.
It's either a Camry or it's a Toyota something.
Like any car is really easy to break into. You just break the window.
No, there was like a statistic because this car kept getting broken. Like it was literally like the #1 because carjackers like there's like a sensor to like unlock the car or something.
I have to look it up because that's.
Like, I don't know.
That's a good business opportunity. Anyways.
Yep. Hopefully you have a little bit more direction on what you should know about debt.
Yes.
And then obviously do your own research, but if you're looking for maybe someone who wants you to have no debt ever, Dave Ramsey has that snowball effect where they like talk about your smallest debt and then making the minimum payments and stuff. So he could be interesting to think about. But also don't feel bad if you do have debt because that literally is how America works. America goes round. So don't feel too bad. Just know that you can manage it. And it's probably a good thing if you already have a considerable amount to pay off to maybe really think about the next time you want to get a loan or, a brand new credit card or something. Trust me, I understand the dopamine that comes with something shiny and new, but sometimes we kind of have to reel it into ourselves of like, okay, do I really want to pay extra? Or what is this interest rate? Like how much is this little service fee for borrowing the money in the first place going to set me back? So with that, we will see you later.
The flippy flip.